Hey guys, welcome back to The Binger. There are thought to be around 15,000 characters in Marvel Comics, and only a handful of those have made it onto the big screen. While we love the likes of Captain America and Iron Man, we can't help but feel like there are other Avengers that should be up there too. Join us as we take a look at some of the best Avengers that we don't see enough of and why Marvel is missing out by not including them. Number 1. Sersi. No, we're not going into Game of Thrones territory. We'll save that for another time. We're talking about Cersei the Eternal. We love it when awesome female superheroes are introduced, so it's sort of surprising that Cersei has yet to come on screen. As she's an Eternal, Cersei is older than anything we've seen. When it comes to kicking butt and taking names, there's no one quite like this mind-manipulating, flying, and undying queen of awesomeness. Black Widow might like to think she's as good, but she pales in comparison. Sorry, Natasha. Cersei teamed up with the Avengers to fight the good fight a few times before Captain America made it official. So, hopefully, it's just a matter of time until we see her get the recognition she deserves. You could say that the Cap and Cersei are old friends, as they've previously traveled to ancient Mesopotamia together. Number 2. Swordsman. Swordsman would make an incredible character if he was played by the right actor. He's not just handy with weapons, but he's also charismatic and eccentric. What's not to like there? He taught Hawkeye everything he knows after stumbling across the wayward teen, and yet Hawkeye is the one who gets all the glory. What's up with that? Just like his protege, Swordsman has played on both sides before eventually settling down with the Avengers. Initially sent to destroy the Avengers, Swordsman decided not to follow through with his duplicitous plan and instead joined them to battle before eventually being taken down in the line of fire. Bummer. If we ever get to see Hawkeye's backstory told in depth, then it would be foolish of writers to leave out Swordsman. There's a whole lot to explore that would keep us entertained. This guy has plenty of stuff in his background that could be fun to see, especially when you're never quite sure if he's good or bad. Number 3. Rick Jones. Nick Fury is given the role of assembling the Avengers in the first movie, but in the comics, it was the unlikely teen hero Rick Jones that made the call. Jones is the teen sidekick of the Hulk, but for some reason he was cut out of the MCU. Jones is the head of a group called the Teen Brigade, and it's them that warn the Avengers that Loki is causing chaos on Earth. He later becomes Captain America's sidekick, but he's just a kid with virtually nothing going for him. He doesn't have superhuman strength, and he doesn't have a staggering intelligence. He's just an average Joe. And while the gang loves him, he never quite makes it to a fully fledged member. That doesn't mean that he's not valuable though. In the Kree-Skrull War, he wields the Destiny Force to fight back against the Skrulls. Unlikely heroes always become fan favorites, so there's no doubt that Jones should have got some sort of role. With so many characters to choose from, it can be tricky to cover them all. But we can't help but feel that Jones should have made the cut. Number 4. Spider-Woman. Peter Parker himself is still a relatively new addition to the Avengers, only gaining the coveted status after Stark awards it to him. With that being said, it might be some time before his female counterpart, Spider-Woman, gets introduced. Jessica Drew has the same powers as Parker, but was an agent of Hydra. After a while, Drew realized that she was on the wrong team and went rogue, breaking away from her former employers to do what she does best: fight crime. Although originally conceived in 1977, the character didn't stumble into Avengers territory for almost 3 decades, eventually becoming a member in 2005. But here comes the spoiler. Several years later, it was discovered that Spider-Woman wasn't actually Spider-Woman, but the Queen of the Skrulls wearing a disguise. Mind blown? Yeah, us too. Eventually, the real deal Spider-Woman secured herself a place on the team and has been on the winning side ever since. Who wouldn't want to see that story played out? It's brilliant. Number 5. Black Knight. This character is so good, it's tough to know where to start. Black Knight has been around since 1969, when he joined the team to help them destroy Kang the Conqueror. Not only is he a stand-up guy and a superhero, but he's also considered the best swordsman in the entire world thanks to his magical weapon, the Ebony Blade. It just sounds cool, doesn't it? The sword has a bunch of awe-inspiring capabilities, but it also holds a curse that comes into action when it draws blood. Dane Whitman, that's the Black Knight's real name, has had his ups and downs with the thing. His personal life is equally juicy, with Whitman finding himself embroiled in a love triangle with Cersei and one of the Inhumans' royal family members, Crystal. So that's cool weapons with curses and an epic romance story. Is there anything else we need from an Avenger? Number 6. Sunspot. Bobby DaCosta, aka Sunspot, has appeared on our screens in X-Men Days of Future Past, alongside Iceman, Colossus, Blink, and Warpath. He manages to stave off the Sentinels while Shadowcat and Bishop try to go back in time. After becoming disillusioned with protecting mankind, Sunspot briefly retires until Captain America manages to get him on board. A whole lot of action ensues, including the hostile takeover of Advanced Idea Mechanics, which is turned into Avengers Idea Mechanics. S.H.I.E.L.D. sends Hawkeye and Dum Dum Dugan to keep an eye on the new venture, but they come to respect Costa's leadership. All in all, Sunspot is a character that really holds his own alongside the rest of the team. So we're hopeful that he'll expand his repertoire and make the leap from X-Man to Avengers in the MCU. There's no reason why he shouldn't, especially as he's a solar-powered fight machine. Plus, he can survive being hit by a truck at 100 miles per hour. That has to come in handy. Number 7. She-Hulk. It's unlikely that we'll ever see the She-Hulk as part of the MCU, but we can hope. Jennifer Walters is a prosecutor who is also the cousin of our beloved Bruce Banner. Like her cousin, Walters has the ability to turn into a super powerful green entity. Unlike her Bruce, however, she doesn't lose her mindset. It's not all Hulk smash with Walters. She gains her strength but maintains her intelligence. It's a win-win situation. Mostly, anyway. Like Banner, she is partial to uncontrollable rages, the guilt of which weighs heavy on her mind. Walters gained her powers when she received an emergency blood transfusion from her cousin. Throughout the 80s, She-Hulk was featured prominently in the Avengers comics, bringing some much-needed humor into the battles. On 2 separate occasions, though, Walters has left the Avengers feeling like she doesn't belong. Considering she was a key character, it's slightly odd that we haven't seen her appear so far, but the powers that be might think she's too similar to Banner to be worthy of the investment. If only it were up to us. Number 8. Hawkeye. Played by Jeremy Renner, Hawkeye hasn't caught much of a break in the MCU. We know that he recruited Black Widow, and he spent much of the first Avengers movie as a bad guy thanks to Loki. He didn't appear at all in Avengers 3, and really up until now, he has been a minor player. It looks like he is going to get some more airtime in Avengers Endgame if the trailer is anything to go by. Clint has an interesting backstory, and his friendship with Natasha is also significant. So will Marvel ever invest the time in him that the fans might be hoping for? According to some media outlets, bosses are considering a standalone movie or possibly an 8-part miniseries. Let's hope that rumor turns out to be a reality, as there's definitely a market for Hawkeye fans. Hopefully, Endgame might give us a hint or two about what we can further expect from Clint Barton. Number 9. Echo Ronin. Echo is one of the most interesting characters in the comics. Native American and deaf, she often appears as Ronin in a shared superhero identity. Born Maya Lopez, she is raised by her father's friend, who also happened to be the one responsible for his passing. Lopez doesn't know and is told that Daredevil is actually to blame for the loss of her father. Maya soon turns into Echo and tries to destroy Daredevil, not realizing that he is actually Matt Murdock, the human that she fell in love with. Echo hunts down her stepdad for revenge, but it doesn't work out, and eventually she meets Wolverine, who helps her to come to terms with her past. Honestly, it's just a great story never told on the big screen. Later on, Captain America catches wind of her and she joins the Avengers, rebranding herself as Ronin and wearing a suit that hides her gender and identity. We don't just want Maya Lopez to be part of the MCU, we need her to be part of the MCU. Number 10. Squirrel Girl. Yeah, you heard right, Squirrel Girl. We all need a little Squirrel Girl in our lives, don't we? Possibly one of the most bizarre characters to exist in Marvel Comics, Doreen Green is a mutant who wants to make the world a better place, one nut at a time. With a tail, and the world's army of squirrels at her side, Squirrel Girl has managed to defeat Doctor Doom while always maintaining her chipper attitude. She might not have the cool factor that some of our other superheroes do, but it would be utterly hilarious to see Doreen Green pop up in the MCU in all her furry glory. Squirrel Girl is already part of the animated series New Warriors and Marvel Rising Secret Warriors, but we need more. What about that romance with Wolverine? That could make for some stellar viewing, couldn't it? As well as being part of the team, Green is the nanny for Luke Cage and Jessica Jones' daughter. Is there anything that Squirrel Girl can't do? There you have it. What do you think? Are we right on the money, or do you think we've got this all wrong? Do what you do best and let us know in the comments. Before you go, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a thing on your favorite movies and TV shows. Until next time guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.